my next question would be, many body transformation coaches talk about measuring your food. Is that something you recommend? And what is the best way to do that?
Yes, I recommend measuring your food. Like I said, you need to know how much you're eating of everything to actually know your calories and know your macros. So I will say that you don't need to be as, for me, I'm a competitor. I need to know down to the gram, to the ounce, how much food I'm eating. But someone who's just trying to lose some weight and be a little bit more healthier, they don't need to go that extreme. So with my weight loss clients, I make them measure things by tablespoons, measuring cups. So like half a cup, that kind of stuff. But obviously that's up to you. Some people find it tedious to measure out on a scale. For me, I've come so accustomed to it that it's easy for me to do that. It's second nature. But I would say generally, if you do want to lose weight and you are serious about losing the weight, that take the few extra minutes and measure out your food. So then when you do write your journal, you can say, hey, that was a half cup of rice.
Right. So because like growing up, big plate of food, and my mom would tell me, you better eat all your food because there's children in Africa who can't get no food. So you better eat all your food. And I grew up eating all my food.
Yeah.
So I guess you could tell what happened. And measuring my food, it just doesn't sit well with me. But I do get the point that if I need to write everything down in a journal, how much I'm eating, I need to know how much I'm eating. And for me to know how much I'm eating, I need to measure it. So it kind of makes sense. It kind of makes sense in the long run. Some people talk about the fist size.
Yeah, I would say that's a good, if you really don't want to do fist size. But like I said, even that doesn't tell you really how much you're eating, because like my fist and your fist are two different things. So if I'm saying, hey, have a fist size of like rice, okay, well, what does that mean? So it's just it's just a little hard. I don't think if you were to make all your rice and you were to use instead of using a spoon but use a scoop, well, even if it's a cup, you can somewhat say, okay, well, if I only put it up to this much, that's a fourth of a cup. If I put it up to that, that's a half of a cup. You can at least eyeball a little bit more, and that's not that hard. And I think as you, like for me, I'm so used to weighing out my food that I can literally I use a scoop like for oatmeal, and I'll just throw some in there, and I pretty much know what a half of a cup looks like, just because I've done it so many times. So once you get into that habit, you will know like what 4 ounces of chicken looks like. Like I can usually like grab the chicken and throw in then, and I'm like 3.5, or I'm like 4.3. I'm pretty darn close because I've done it so much. So you learn.
So you're saying get into the habit of measuring your food. In the long run, it will assist you to be able to just look at it and eyeball and put your scoops.
Or it's great for when you if I were to go out, I because I've done it so much, I kind of know, hey, I only need to eat this much of what's on my plate, because that's like around a half of a cup. So it's just, again, being mindful, being a mindful eater.
Right.
And that will be a great tool for when you go out and you have to eat and you're out in a public event and you can't bring your food, because that all happens. Like life happens, that's okay. But let's just be prepared for those things.
And the only way you could prepare is if you have the experience of measuring your food, so that you can be able to look at it and know without any weights or measures from your experience what it is around about how much you should be eating in a situation where you don't have the ability to actually measure. But because of your experience, you can.
Yes. And like I said, if you don't know, if you're trying to lose weight and you're serious about that, then if you don't know how much you're eating, you're not going to be able to really know where you stand on your calories. And like I said, weight loss is all, you need to be in a caloric deficit. Like that's the key. There's no special diet. There's no special food you got to eat. There's no special like time you're supposed to eat it at. You need to just be in, your total calories need to be in a caloric deficit. I cannot stress that enough.
Breaking down all the myths.
Thanks for watching this video. If you've got any questions that you'd like our experts to answer, please leave them in the comments below.